Greetings, believers! This is SuperZombieGBBQ, and this is part 2 of a 3-part series talking about Season 3, which is coming very, very soon in November, December. It seems the fall of this year. We are looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. The first of this 3 episodes, I was talking about what things need to change in WWE SuperCard going forward. This is just, again, my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But we are now going to talk about the things that need to go. And when I say about the things that need to go, I am talking about the things that literally need to be dropped into the nearest ocean and have an anchor attached to them, just forgotten about, never to be seen again. So let's get into the list. There's going to be 7 things we're going to be talking about here, and they're all things I think most can agree just need to go ASAP. So the first is actually 2 supports I've been using, and this is because it gives you a huge advantage. And that is the Vince McMahon and Blassie supports. Blassie in Season 1, Vince McMahon in Season 2. Why do these need to go? Because they provide an incredibly unfair advantage if someone has got access to the fusions, or alternatively has been lucky with the fusion chamber to get themselves an all-statted support card. It's something that I believe, first of all, that has to go. I think the game was a hell of a lot more balanced, a lot more fair, and it was a lot more based on what you had grinded to get to the cards. Even I can admit, despite not playing much in WrestleMania tier, that I've got a way much unfair advantage with 2 Fusion Vince McMahons available to me in every single game mode as a result. Now beyond that is talking about Teams PCC. Yes, everyone's favourite game mode. Let's just sense the sarcasm there. Teams PCC, unfortunately, was a great idea. Unfortunately, that never really took off. Teams PCC was a great planned event. It was offering teams the ability to grind as hard as they could to push themselves. Unfortunately, it's launched on a weekday, which means that no one in school, no one who is working, and pretty much anyone who has a life outside of this game has the ability to play. It's a huge time sink and actually is amazingly destructive to social lives. My opinion is that the event needs to be moved or made a monthly overall event for the game, so it's something that people can use on a weekend, or the game mode needs to go. On top of that, Teams PCC has been known forever to offer some of the worst rewards in the game, much like its PCC family member, but at least PCC offers you an event card at the end, nor Teams PCC. Sometimes you end up spending more titles, more credits on getting Teams PCC done than you do to PCC itself, which is mental. Anyway, on the subject of PCC, the next thing is the win structure for PCC. The way PCC has worked from the get-go was a great idea. The community decides. Unfortunately, in today's day and age, the community is very opinionated. There's a lot of people who will go for what's best for them, not what's best for the game. And unfortunately, you do get a lot of situations, for example, like this Charlotte versus Sasha PCC, when Charlotte probably should have been the card that won, but Sasha's winning because a lot of people have chosen to win Sasha. Now, a lot of the people who are grinders probably would have chosen Charlotte, or maybe chosen Sasha because, you know, she's a popular superstar and whatnot. Probably a bad example, but maybe the better one was the Ziggler versus Corbin PCC, where people had to vote for Ziggler because Ryback, who was a Survivor card, was a pro. Now, those people are not going to play anywhere near the amount of games that people who are playing for the other card are doing. People are getting 20, 30, 40,000 points to put a little bit of difference into the game and maybe change up things like King of the Rings by having different arrows and different combinations. We were massively lucky in another power and toughness card, and unfortunately people chose another speed and charisma card that caused a massive amount of controversy in Season 2. Now, removing the win structure means that you then put in a point structure. So if the people at the top who are getting 40, 50, 60,000 points or something stupid like that, they are having more of an effect on the outcome of the PCC, which potentially means people are spending more, playing more, which ultimately affects the revenue the game makes and also the overall experience people get, because then you get Baron cards like Baron Corbin and not cards like Dolph Ziggler that just get forgotten and thrown about, and that ultimately makes people feel better. Yes, their favourite card Ziggler didn't win, but they got themselves an Up Arrow card or got themselves another Survivor card, and this unfortunately is where most people who don't play the game on a regular basis, who are not full-time players of the game, for example, play other things, want to go for the easy option, which is understandable. If you can go for the easy option, go for it, but some people don't realise they're going for event cards. Even single event cards are better than the cards that people would normally choose to go for because it makes a pro. Alternatively, with this option, you're giving the people to choose with their wins and the points they make, not just a win because it's a number. This offers a lot more of the people who do pay money into the game, who do play a lot, the opportunity to have more of a difference in the game and have a lot more community involvement. Now this next one may be something people don't agree with, but I think that in the future with WWE SuperCard Season 3 we could see a situation where we have more tiers than ever going into the game, and this is something that we could experience. Now obviously with the announcement that Season 1, Season 2 and Season 3 cards are all going to be playable within WWE SuperCard Season 3, you have to beg the question, how is that all going to fit in? Now especially with memory issues and whatnot on mobile phones and etc., I would hazard a guess that they would need to make some cuts somewhere. Now my suggestion is that given the designs of the cards, I would suggest that the common card and the super rare are removed from the game entirely. So you would start off with uncommon, rare, ultra rare, epic, legendary, survivor, WrestleMania and then SummerSlam. And that also means that Road to Glory is shorter, which means people are going to have less problems. Now this is also a point where I think if they aren't going to change that, then with Road to Glory they need to seriously consider dropping down the amount of cards, because it is a long slog to get yourself a super rare card. I mean, come on, really? But taking my opinion out of it, I think that would make a massive difference to the game. It would also mean a lot more people can transfer up the scale to epic and legendary very, very quickly. Take out common, take out super rare, you go straight from uncommon to rare, then up to ultra rare to epic, legendary and so on and so forth, which also frees up more images, which frees up more space, which means we can have more cards in latter tiers which actually make a difference. Because let's be honest, whoever played with common and uncommon cards apart from PCC anyway? One of the things I love about the fact that they still got uncommon and common cards in the game is that within 5 minutes of playing Exhibition, when you start Season 2, you've got a whole team of rare cards anyway, which makes absolutely no sense. Now another thing that is something I feel that could make a big difference to the quality of people's gameplay and the feeling that they have to play the game on a regular basis and continuously is removing the need to have 2 cards which are fully leveled and combined to pro a card from scratch. My belief is that only 1 card should have to be there, potentially removing the games and the tokens altogether, maybe keeping the tokens element as I said in the previous video. But my opinion is that the WrestleMania cards that we have already take way too long to level up, way too long to token, which means that eventually you kind of get sick of the sight of the card and having to use it all the time. Where instead, if you was just to level up 1 card up to the top and use the 1 card stats, maybe pour something off the board a la My NBA, something you can borrow from them, like a contract which allows you to pro it instantaneously with similar stats, or maybe to give the card full stats straight away, which is something obviously you can do if you've got something which can amend the code in the game. If you've got like a kind of like a cheat thing which you can use, which is a pullable off the board or able to be got from King of the Ring wins, for example, you can then get the Bray Wyatt, for example, level up 1 card and use a contract or something similar, which can then go into the second card, which then levels it up exactly the same way, and all you got to do is attach tokens. That would make people's lives a hell of a lot easier. I mean, you'd see more pros very, very quickly in the game, instead of having to wait 2 or 3 days for the people's pro cards to start showing up, which is a huge chore. But let me know what you think about that idea in the comment section below. Maybe you've got something that maybe sounds a bit better, maybe sounds a bit easier for people, maybe a bit more sociable for people. Let me know in the comment section below. The next thing, however, is talking about Season 1, Season 2. Right now in Season 2, you still have access to Season 1 if you get your cards back from the feedback team. However, why are people still playing Season 1? I have no idea. Season 2 is where it's at. Season 1 has no events other than the WrestleMania fusions, which are available, and obviously the other fusions, which will be transferable. That's the only reason it is beneficial right now. Now, my suggestion going forward is that when, and I'm going to give big credits for Bad Lad Dad for this one, because he came up with this on Twitter. He said, remove Season 1, Season 2, completely start afresh in Season 3, have all the cards available from Season 1, Season 2 and Season 3, which you've got available to you, and just be done with it from there. Season 1, Season 2 become a distant memory. Season 3 is available. There's no confusion. There is no resources taken up. Not a game with bolt-ons. Just straight away, straight up Season 3, thank you very much. And that's it and done. It certainly would make things less confusing, especially at the start of the game. And at the moment, I mean, we don't need the additional space taken up with the fusion chamber. I think at the moment, all you need to do is just literally kind of quell some of the... I mean, literally, it's even just getting to the point where, especially when you've got a team event, you've got like literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different things to choose from. It's just a bit too convoluted and too much on there. It honestly feels like a bad set of game art where you buy it and it's got all the Game of the Year stickers over it, and it just kind of convolutes the image a little bit. It makes it just look like there's way too much going on. And the last thing is something, again, a lot of people maybe disagree and agree on. I think it's a great idea to have enhancements in packs. But unfortunately, I think the idea of enhancements, especially towards WrestleMania tier, has been that they are largely useless. The WrestleMania enhancements, the enhancements themselves, barely give any benefit. They do help in certain King of the Rings, but a plus 64 to a card that already is personalised by someone. At the beginning of Season 1, enhancements were a pain in the backside and actually counted as your pull. Believe it or not, they counted as your WrestleMania or, let's say, your Legendary or Survivor pull, which is criminal as far as I'm concerned. But they removed it, and basically it's now just a random pull off the board. I believe enhancements need to go, die, be done with. Maybe bring something else in that gives a boost, but maybe make it permanent. Something you can put off the board that's permanent. That is my list of the 7 things that should be removed or just killed with fire from WWE SuperCard Season 2 moving into Season 3. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, hit me up on Twitter, Twitch and Instagram if you do want to talk about this anymore. And last but not least, remember to like and subscribe this video for more WWE SuperCard, WWE Slam and everything WWE related content on this channel. And that'd be awesome. And then there's one last thing for you to do, and that is, as always, it's coming. Salute!